More than 1,300 Russians killed in the last 2 days of war. One day after Russia and Ukraine passed the one-year mark of war, Russia lost another 660 soldiers. According to the Ukraine Ministry of Defense, Russia has lost 1,310 soldiers and 18 tanks in the last 2 days. Ukraine's Ministry of Defense stated on Sunday that Russia has now lost an estimated 148,130 soldiers since the war began on February 24, 2022. The number of Russian deaths has not been independently verified, and Ukraine's estimates have typically been higher than estimates from other Western countries. Russia has not updated its own death toll since late September 2022, when it said 6,000 soldiers had been killed. Ukraine officials stated on Saturday that it had taken out 12 Russian tanks the previous day, and Sunday they said 6 more had been destroyed. Destroyed Russian tanks in city squares have become popular attractions for Ukrainian residents who often take photos with the disabled machines. In addition to Russian deaths and lost tanks over the last 2 days, Ukraine stated that Russia had big losses in other equipment. That includes 15 armored combat vehicles, 17 artillery vehicles, 4 drones, and 18 other vehicles and fuel tanks between Friday and Saturday. Russia has failed to take the capital of Kiev in the last year, getting pushed back by Ukrainian fighters, who've also shown staunch defense in northern cities like Kharkiv, where they have pushed Russian troops back toward the nearby border. Russia, despite many losses in the war, now in its 13th month, has shifted focus to eastern and southern Ukraine. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has successfully gained a plethora of tanks and some air defense systems from Western allies that will soon arrive, and now he has reportedly asked the West for fighter jets. Ukraine began looking for more support to protect itself from things like Kh-22 missiles, which destroyed Dnipro last month. Ukraine's Office of the Prosecutor General said it was Russia's 52nd Guards Bomber Aviation Regiment. Meanwhile, Putin announced a partial mobilization for the war effort in September 2022. On February 5, 2023, the Washington-based Institute for the Study of War, ISW think tank, suggested Putin had delayed mobilization plans despite a depleted military. Putin is evidently reticent to announce a second wave of mobilization, the think tank said, owing to the extreme unpopularity of the first wave of mobilization. Putin's reluctance to publicly order a second wave may indicate a preference for silent mobilization.
Били! Опусти!
The fighters were ordered to storm the Donetsk city of Avdiivka in assault units. Avdiivka has been the focus of Russian offensive operations in recent weeks, and Ukraine's general staff reported on Sunday that the country's armed forces had repelled attacks on the city over the past 24 hours. Russian forces made marginal territorial gains around Avdiivka. The mobilized Russian soldiers, under orders from separatist commanders from the Donetsk region, were sent to storm the Avdiivka fortified area without any support, artillery, communications, sappers, or reconnaissance, one unnamed fighter told the Russian outlet. The true death toll of Russian soldiers in Ukraine is unknown. However, an estimate from the British Defense Ministry on February 17 put the number of Russian military and mercenary fighters killed at up to 60,000. The number of Russian casualties may have reached 200,000, the government department added. The casualty rate significantly increased after September's partial mobilization. Moscow has only issued 2 official updates on the Russian death toll in Ukraine. The first came in March and then in September 2022, and the defense minister Sergei Shoigu said 5,937 Russian soldiers had been killed since February.
Иду!